What up, photogs? Thanks for tuning in. All right, so I had the best week ever at Shutterfest 2018. It is April 7th, and I am back at home, back in the office, looking at all my pictures from the week. And I did probably a dozen boudoir shoots this last week, and I took like 30 pictures, which was awesome because I was not there to take pictures myself. I was like really, really excited to get to help everybody else learn to shoot this amazing style. So as amazing as this lighting setup may be, it is absolutely garbage on the skin. So if we zoom in here, you can see every pore, every little detail. And I don't know about you, but none of my clients want to see that. But the rest of the image is magic. So I'm going to show you how I retouch these, and I'll take you from start to like this right here is raw, straight out of camera, to the actual image I deliver to my clients. And I've got a really good system down. It's quick, it's easy, and I can generally clean one of these up from raw to finished in like a minute and a half to 2 minutes tops. So you can really get these done in a hurry. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do before I edit anything in Lightroom, I'm gonna bring it into Photoshop. And the reason that I do this is for my skin retouching. Before I adjust any of my colors, anything else, I want to retouch the skin and then get rid of things that I don't want in the photo. So first, jump to the clone stamp. I'm going to switch my blend mode back to normal because I just want to get rid of stuff that's there. The little stripey guy here, let's clean that up. Boom. And now there's a reflection of her shoulder here in the mirror because this is shot up against a mirror. So let's go through and just clean that up. This is why I shoot everything at like f2.8, maybe f2. Makes cleaning this kind of stuff up really, really easy. Zoom out. Pretty darn close. Cool, I'm good with that. Now let's get rid of this little guy. So you don't have to worry about it being totally precise. Like this isn't rocket surgery, and I'm cool with that. So now let's actually do the skin retouching. There are 1,000 ways you can do this with like frequency separation, tons of clone stamping, but I don't have time for that. So if we zoom in, normally I'll take the clone stamp on the lighten blending mode. I will switch my opacity to 30%. And then you can see I set my hardness at 0. So that's just a big, soft, fuzzy brush. And normally what I'll do, I'll sample something on the cheeks right here and then just soften the shadows under the eyes. And that's why I switched to lighten, because I'm not trying to take all of this data and then clone it up here. I only want to take the data down here that's lighter than what's up here, and that's what I'm replacing. So it'll only replace darker pixels with the lighter pixels you've sampled from. We can go more into blending modes in another video, but when you're just getting rid of some dark spots and shadows, lighten is the way to go. But we did a pretty good job of getting the shadows right in camera, so I don't need to do too much with that. So I'm gonna hit Command J, or Control J if you're on a PC, and duplicate my background layer. Now I use filter, Imagenomic Portraiture. This is like the magic wand. I mean, okay, maybe it's a bad example because there's already a magic wand tool in Photoshop, but this is a magic wand separate from that, and you can see how quickly it cleans up the skin. The before and after, right? It's like night and day. If we zoom in a little bit more, you can still see there's a bunch of pore detail there, and there's pore detail here. And that's why I love this program versus things like, what is that one called? Obviously I'm drawing a blank here because I don't use it. This is Portraiture, Portrait Pro. That's what it is. It's like a $20 program or something, and it makes everyone's eyes white. It over sharpens the eyelashes. It reshapes their face, and then it turns their skin into plastic. And I don't like that at all because I want people to look like people, not like mannequins. So while that's really good and she already has fantastic skin, based on what I know I'm going to do, I want to process this again. So I'm going to duplicate that layer, and I'm going to run Portraiture again. Now, the reason I do it this way instead of just reapplying the same filter to the same layer, because say I don't want to go with 100% of this plugin applied to the skin. Now I can just dial back the opacity on that one layer. So essentially I can do like 1.5 times as opposed to 2 full times. And I don't have to worry about playing with the settings in the plugin. Super fast. And now if there were other things in the scene that are going to be softened by this, because this program, let me jump back to it. You choose a color here on this palette, and you can like eyedropper the person's skin tone, and then it'll only process things in that color range right here. So if you have, cream colored things in the background or blonde hair, it's going to soften everything. So what you can do is apply a layer mask and then use your brush on black and like mask things out of the photo. And you can see here, everything in black will be returned to normal as per the layer below, and everything in white will actually have this setting. But I don't want that, so I'm going to get rid of this layer mask. So that's normally what I'll do. And to speed this up, I've made hotkeys. So I can just hit Function F1, for example, and you'll see here it's thinking away. It automatically creates a new layer. It applies portraiture, gives me a layer mask, and adjusts my opacity to 50%, because this is generally what I will do for my photos, between 100 and 50%. And I have another setting at Function F2 that will do the same thing, but it'll leave my layer at 100% instead of 50. So let me jump back and show you how quick that is. We're back to the base layer. I just got rid of the shoulder. I cleaned up the other stuff. Now all I have to do is hit Function F2. It takes 2 seconds to think, and bam, it's done. I zoom in, I decide that's not enough. I'm gonna hit Function F1 because now I want a second layer done and edited, but I only wanted it 50% opacity. And in like 4 seconds, I had all of this skin retouching done here, right? I mean, that's incredible compared to where we started. And that was like 4 seconds, which is why I don't know how to do frequency separation, because I don't need to. This is so gosh darn fast. So I'm gonna save this, and it's automatically gonna bring it back into Lightroom, which is why I use Lightroom and Photoshop together and not programs like On1 or Aperture or anything else. These Adobe programs sync up beautifully. And we're thinking, and we're thinking. Usually while this is happening, I'll move to the next one. So in Lightroom, I'll grab like 5 images at a time, bring them all into Photoshop, and I'll run my softening hotkeys like 2 or 3 times. And then while it's saving, I'll jump to the next one. And then while it's saving, I'll jump to the next one. And by the time I've done the 5th one, the first 4 are done saving, already back in Lightroom, and I can just close out the whole batch. This is also the reason I use the Photoshop plugin versus the Lightroom plugin, because in Lightroom, you can't mask things off and you can't adjust your opacity. So I'd rather bring them into Photoshop and then just increase the number of layers I have and use masks to control exactly how much softening I'm doing. Okay, so let's jump back into Lightroom. So again, between the 2 versions, softened, original, it's like not even close, right? All right, so I have a Boudoir preset that I've done, because again, presets are amazing. And what it does is it boosts my contrast a little bit, it brightens up my shadows just a little bit, takes my vibrance down. The reason I do vibrance instead of saturation is because I want a little bit of skin tone left in there. So I might even bump this back to like 85. So it's not totally black and white, but it's like really close. And that kind of mystery like makes you second guess what it is that you're seeing. And I think that really adds a lot more power to the image. And then it boosts clarity, which is your edge contrast. So the reason I over soften the skin in here, because when I increase my clarity, it brings back some of that pore detail. And I'm not worried so much about this. I could soften it if I wanted to, or the pores on the nose and forehead. Like that looks real. That makes her look human, as opposed to over softening where you lose all of that detail. And this is the finished image I would send to my client. So let's jump back and forth straight out of camera. finished image. And that was what, like 3 minutes? And I even took the time to explain it. So this is crazy fast. And again, I cannot say enough great things about portraiture. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and include a link so you can get your own copy of Imagenomics Portraiture. Just click on the little thing. It should take you right to the checkout page. Super simple. Now, to be transparent, I am an affiliate for Imagenomic, but that happened like a month ago, and because I've already been promoting their stuff for years, I'm like, hey, can we make something happen here? And we just started this working relationship, which I'm super stoked about, so then I can share more stuff with you. If you get any questions about any of this, please don't hesitate to ask. You can email me, mike@photogsunite.com, or post them in the Photogs Unite Facebook group. You can share here in the Shutterfest group. I am happy to help. So until next time, Photogs, remember that every photo you take brings you one step closer.